Hello, Hillside. Daryl Siplinga, one of the council members at Hillside Church, and Ron Kuhl, one of the pastors at Hillside Church, here with our September council update. First, we want to start out just giving thanks for the wonderful kickoff in a variety of ways that we've had with programs and activities, starting with the picnic on the 17th of September and moving on to loads of other activities. It's wonderful to see that renewed activity in the sanctuary and in a variety of places, and we're thankful for the staff who have given countless hours to get these things started, and the many volunteers who are there too. So we look forward to seeing more happen, and look forward to those activities coming forward.
All right. Well, one of the things we spent some time on at our council meeting recently was talking about the denominational response to the Human Sexuality Report. We've been talking about this for some time, and we'll continue to talk about it. Synod is the largest gathering for our denomination, and so it's kind of the body that makes some decisions that can impact the rest of us, and in this case, it probably will in some way or another. Mm-hmm. And so right now what we've been trying to do is figure out exactly what Synod is deciding about this and how it does impact us. We had a great time recently talking about what's going on with that at the denominational level. I don't know how to hit record, so I didn't record. That was my mistake, and I apologize for that. But if you want to have another opportunity, if you say, boy, I'd like to figure out and understand what's going on, and why do we keep talking about it? Well, again, because the denomination meets once a year on this, and so we kind of have to figure out what they do every time and how we're related to that. So we very much, so if you want to have a time when say, I want to learn more, call the church office and let them know, and we'll see if we can set up another time perhaps, or whatever we need to do. But we'll try to keep you in the loop on all of that. We do ask for your prayers. It's a significant issue that we talk about in our world and so on, in our culture and in our church. We have a variety of opinions, viewpoints on things, and also just we want to make sure that we are loving, full of grace and truth, and also spending enough time on this, but not letting it become the only thing we do in terms of ministry or council meetings. So, yeah, appreciate your prayers.
Thanks, Ron, and thanks for your leadership at the session we had earlier this month. We're glad that we could get together and continue to wrestle with that individually and corporately. So, also at the council meeting this month, we approved several more items from the Employee Retention Fund. You'll recall that's a fund that was provided as part of COVID to make sure that we kept our employees employed. And so that fund provided the resources that we needed, that we could use for a variety of things. We approved a couple of things last month. You'll remember that. And we, this month, included several more projects. The staff has done a great job in listing and prioritizing and brainstorming those kinds of things that would be helpful to us as a congregation and to them in ministry. And so we hope that all of these items that are approved will be both an encouragement to us all in ministry, but also in the intent of the fund originally to the staff as they seek to have the tools and resources to do things better. So you'll see a couple of these things coming on board. Some of them are some improvements to the AV system, a basketball hoop in the to make things better for the youth programming, a variety of technological tools, especially for the young adult and youth program. So a whole host of things. Now we have reserved almost half of that money still for future projects, and some for some budget issues. And so as the staff continues to refine a few more projects that are on their priority list, look for some of those to come forward as well.
Thanks. Yeah, and we also have some things related to the building that we thought we need to update. And so there are two things that we acted on or approved, and then two things that we're thinking about. We approved new projectors for the auditorium. The ones that we have been have served us well for a good number of years, but technology changes, and we think this is the time to update and to get some clarity, better clarity, brighter colors, and so hopefully you'll notice that as when we worship together or whatever, that those projectors are we'll be able to do a bit better with them. We also, you might have noticed, the carpet in the auditorium has gotten pretty messy. There are places where it's starting to come up. We have cleaned and recleaned and re-recleaned, and it just can't get clean anymore. So the council said it's time to replace that carpet. So that'll be happening sometime soon. Want to make sure it's at a time where we don't get in the way of too much other ministry. But yeah, looking forward to that. Two of the projects that we're still looking at are we're looking at some other stage kind of changes to enhance worship and other activities that take place in the auditorium, and then the kitchen. We want to do not a full kitchen redo, but we do want to do some things that we think are going to make it really much more effective and cleaner and brighter and newer. And so we got a group looking at that. If you say, boy, I've always thought this about the kitchen, send an email to the church office or to Andy or to me. Send us an email and we'll make sure we include that in our thinking about it.
Thanks, Ron. Those facility updates are in keeping with some of the vision that was out there for the original capital, for the last capital campaign, and so we think it's appropriate to maybe use some of those resources, especially the kitchen area. That was a highlight of that, one of those, and one of the things that we think we can do, we have the resources to do. So finally, we'd like to, mention just on our ongoing financial stewardship. We've had, we continue to have a good start to our fiscal year, which started June 1st. Still really early in the process, but our first 2 months, especially of the year, were above budget and above last year's amounts. We did drop down a little bit in August, but we still remain ahead, and contributions are ahead of expenses. We do want you all to keep in mind your stewardship plans as we return to the fall season, and recall that as we ramp up programming, so will we ramp up expenses, and hope that you keep that in mind as you consider your resources. We're thankful for the congregation and the support, ongoing support in programs, in ministry, and in supporting the council and staff as we seek to do the mission and vision of Hillside Church. If you have any questions or need more information, certainly reach out to any myself or any other council member, Ron, or church staff member that will get us the message or get to us. So thanks again for your support and continuing dialogue as we seek to do ministry together.